Nikki Bella and her husband. I don't want to spend like a lot of time on this but like, I don't know, her new husband got, or like, I don't know, her and John Cena weren't really married or engaged or whatever, I guess. But her husband, like, you know, DV, I don't know what YouTube likes. There was a domestic thing and dispute, and there was like abuse that happened, I guess. And according to county records, he was released at 2 p.m. Okay, so let's see. We now know how the alarm was sounded when someone at Artem, I can't even say his name, home called 911. Sources connected to the investigation tell TMZ a call came in around 8:30 a.m. reporting a medical emergency at the home. It's unclear who made the call. Paramedics and the fire department were en route. Someone from the house called 911 again to say cancel the request. They did not say why, but we were told paramedics and fire returned to their stations, never showing up at the house. At 10 a.m., Artem was arrested for felony corporal injury to spouse or cohabitant. In order to make the arrest for felony, the injury must be visible. I mean...
You what?
What a piece of... So either a kid or her was hurt, and like hopefully... Well, we don't know. Like, maybe she's attacking him, but I mean, are we going to play that game? I don't even want to dive into this deep, guys, but yeah, I just hope Nikki Bella's okay. That's craziness, and it's unfortunate, you know. They live in wine country, and I know, you know, Nikki Bella likes her wine, and maybe they're a couple of winos. Who knows? I'm just giving takes here, guys. I'm giving hot takes because it's what I got to do, right? So, not trying to be an ass. I hope everyone's okay, and if it's a kid involved, that just makes me sick. But I don't think it's that. It sounds like they're just trying to, like, Nikki really doesn't want to get whatever happened out there. And I'm not saying because she's guilty, but she's obviously protecting dude, or they're trying to protect their family. So I'm going to respect it, and I'll get Chris Connor's take on it all, but I'll move along from talking about it. Chris Connor's your sort of take on all of this, if you have one.
Just sad what's going on. It's never fun. We have no idea what's going on, so I don't want to say anything. I mean, we've heard that, but he called 911 because she threw her shoes at him. But they've not identified who the victim is. It's been a crappy year for the family. I mean, if a mother got sick, her father-in-law, her father-in-law is basically it's her stepfather, I guess. Laurinaitis is being sued. I mean, this has not been a great year for the Bella family, so. Kind of sucks. I mean, it makes you realize, oh yeah, even wrestlers have crappy lives at times.
Yep. But it's time for our favorite moment, and it's called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. Meltzer says, remember when Dave was mocking the media who actually attend pay-per-views for not asking the real questions? Now, I don't really give him for this because he was kind of being jovial and like, but he asked Birdie, like, where do you want to go to next? Australia, maybe Japan. So obviously they want Daniels to wrestle on these matches or whatever. But yeah, Dave Scherer says, when you can't make the trip from Northern California to Southern California to see WrestleMania at SoFi, but you can fly across the country and then across the pond to London for All In, don't try and tell people you are an impartial journalist. Exactly. Dummy Dave, flutes in the chat. Dummy Dave doesn't go to WrestleMania when it's like literally in a state, but he'll go all the way to London to do a show and sit in a AEW ring and answer questions and be a mark for himself. It's just so goofy, man. And the fact people still like quote this guy or listen to his news after the Offa situation and all that, and Pat McAfee, and just, I don't know, man. It's insane. I love roasting him. And yeah, I pointed that out on the show too. But Dave Scherer, after his big beef there with Brian Last and Jim Cornette, Dave explains the Wembley Gauntlet match finished with the baffling booking decision of Christian winning over Ricochet, Hangman Okada, SCJ, Nigel, etc.
Christian, everybody thinks this is the turn, but instead he grabs Kyle, choke slams him, puts Christian on top, gets the pin. I don't get it, dude. Ricochet, Nigel.
Yeah, I would. Okay, so I can tell you why.
Tell me why.
Okay, because remember the one that Will Ospreay won?
The match with Danielson?
No, the Gauntlet.
Oh, the Gauntlet, yeah.
See, that's the thing. You remember who won the Will Ospreay one? Well, which one, man? He's been in 2 of those in the last like 4 months, bro. They've done like 3 of those matches.
Yeah, Christian was supposed to win that one.
That's all fine and good, but he didn't. And now we're in a different time.
I know.
And Christian and Bryan Danielson for the title.
I agree with you 100%. I'm just telling you why.
That's fine. He can win a gauntlet some other time.
I agree with you completely. He was not a guy I would pick because again, if you only have a few there is a storyline legitimacy in the sense that Christian.
No, there's not a storyline in a sense, Dave. That's not how storylines work, dude. He's just inventing this, man.
Has beaten Bryan Danielson, as have many others. But Christian has beaten Bryan Danielson, so Bryan Danielson, as champion, you can defend against someone like that. However, with only a few Bryan Danielson matches left, I mean, I know it's too early.
When did he beat him? WWE?
No, he beat him when he was the TNT champion. They had a great match on, I think it was on Collision, but they had a hell of a match. But it wouldn't be my choice at all. I think that you would argue it's too early for Ricochet, and I would totally.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it to Ricochet. That's what I thought they were gonna do.
Totally agree, except for the fact that Bryan Danielson's not going to be around for long, and it is a dream match, and it's the only chance to do it, and it's okay for Rick. You know, if Ricochet went in there with Bryan Danielson and lost, ain't the end of the world. Ricochet's great; he can survive it. With Christian, it's a match we've seen. I don't know. I'm not a big fan, and also it's not like this match is going to take place on a specific date. This is a Money in the Bank thing, so yeah, Christian can show up with that thing.
How much you guys want to bet Christian Cage makes some sort of joke about like Nikki Bella's husband and Brie or something like that?
No, they'll stay away from that.
You think? Okay.
If it's domestic violence, because there's one thing to get heat. There's another thing when it's real, and it's something that And remember, this isn't Nick Wayne. This isn't some kid who has no say. If I'm Bryan Danielson, I'm going, I don't want to deal with this. No, I mean this is a problem when you have all these guys with creative control of this. So I have no idea what they're going to do. I mean, if I could see him not even wrestle Christian Cage. That Cage basically, steals the title after Darby Allin has the belt put on, because that's what they want to do. They want to make Darby Allin this main event guy. So
that will kill the company if they put the belt on him, man. Original plans called for the Lucha Bros as part of Death Triangle with Pac to win the AEW World Trios Championships at All In. Oh, but we punished him and did BCC instead. Oh, I'm so glad they spent so much time building up to these guys winning the Trios titles out of nowhere at All In. Oh, I'm so happy that was your plan, Tony Khan, after they weren't allowed to be on TV with the CMLL guys for how many months? Jesus Christ, man. Did you see this Uncle Dave actually acting like we all can't think of this on our own? Joe Mason says, why can't they adjust their on-demand episodes so it doesn't cut off at 10? And this is again, Brian, Meltzer arguing with Brian about the overrun. This is that same argument. And here's somebody saying to Meltzer, why can't they just program it so it cuts off at 10? Whenever I watch it there, I miss the last few minutes. This is so sloppy. And then here's Meltzer, the all-knowing, why can't you just do this like me? Meanwhile, Meltzer can't even make a phone call and figure out if Alpha's dead or not a day before it happens. The piece of scumbag, douchebag. Anyways, Dave Meltzer goes, why can't you just record the next show? I'm guessing you've never watched sports or award shows or a number of live entertainment shows on TV. Dave, nobody's watching award shows. And when it's for sports, they build it in. You keep saying, I guess no one watches sports. You don't, Dave, because you know that they built that in already. Stupid. Holy man, I'm about to.
Dummy. Yeah.
Ugh. Anyways, be like me when watching AEW. No, Dave, because if I was like you when watching AEW, I'd be beating my meat all over the, you know what I mean, dude? There'd be crusty socks everywhere. Okay? Ain't happening. Be like me when watching AEW or sports. You don't watch sports. Set your DVR for the next show. First time it happens, you can get mad at them. If it happens a second time and you didn't learn, that's on you. So Dave literally just went, well, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Taking all the responsibility off of this should be sorted out. Why isn't this sorted out? Why isn't this on the top of Tony Khan's priority list when even you and Shill Alvarez are yelling at each other about it? God damn.
Dummy. Yeah.
Chris, what do you think, man?
I think there has been, I think at this point it's obvious. Dave Meltzer is probably getting paid under the table by Tony Khan. He's sold basically all his credibility to basically hawk them every time he gets. It's embarrassing now. I mean, at some point, if you look at Dave Meltzer, it's like, okay, look, I get it. You like AEW, but he rarely criticizes him now. He is so he's so anti-WWE, pro AEW, that he's become what he hates. He's become that fanboy that you look and go, oh my God, it's just. Do you hang out and, you know, get all giddy when they come out for autographs? Do you have, like, you know, their posters on your wall? That's Dave Meltzer now.
So Meltzer is back on American soil after his excursion to the UK for All In. No word yet if he will make the long, arduous trek from San Jose to Vegas for WrestleMania, which he won't. AEW isn't successful, you moronic mark. And Meltzer goes, this is from someone who knows sports business far better than you. While I, I actually, personally, Tony Khan. While I personally don't agree with his number, the idea AEW isn't successful is laughable today, and the general sports franchise methodology of 5 to 12 times annual revenue gives a range of 900 million to 2.2 billion. Doesn't apply to AEW. And in 2025, that would increase greatly, more likely than not. Dave. Yeah, he just applies like NFL to AEW. It's just, oh man, he's down bad. He's coping so hard. If TBS insisted on it, they would. If you're TBS, you'd probably be happy with the extra minutes of ratings. But they don't get them ratings. They lose ratings. Yeah, they can't finish Dynamite by 9. Where Meltzer and Alvarez, since this should finish off that scripted show, can't finish on time. Exactly. It's a scripted show. They should be happy with the extra minutes. Bro, the show, if they put Big Bang on after, it'd get more viewers. I'm surprised they don't do that already. This lady goes, Cardi fan account goes, if WWE did SummerSlam 1 year 50K and next year 25K, that's still good. And then Meltzer goes, change that from 83 to 53 and say it's the same building. Yeah, that would be great. Dave.
Dummy, yeah. Bonus.
That's not what she asked. Or he, or she. She asked if WWE did SummerSlam 1 year, 50,000, and the next year they did 25,000. Is that good? And then Dave goes, well, just change that from 83 to 53. Dave, God damn it. Okay, then. So 83 to 53. Is that not good? Yeah, that would be great. Okay, he thinks it's great losing 30K or half your audience or whatever. AEW Collision beat Caitlin Clark 0.13 to 0.11 on Saturday night head-to-head from 8 to 10. And I hear that Caitlin Clark is pretty popular. And then Meltzer goes, that's a real big deal. It's for the key demo. 0.13 to 0.11. But what's the key demo? Males 18 to 45 or whatever they try and say the key demo is? I'm sure more women watch Caitlin Clark than AEW, though. So what the fuck are these people talking about, man? This is crazy. This is Caitlin fucking Clark, bananas. Yeah, I mean,
look, Caitlin Clark's, they draw over 1 million people for her WNBA matches. I mean, but games. It's gotten to the point where, their TV deal got renewed for a billion, for into billions, not millions, billions. So, look, I think the whole 18 to 49-year-old thing is just, it's one of those, oh yeah, we did 1849 for blah blah blah. Well, great. What's the hard numbers? It's how many people actually watched, because that's all that people care about. I don't care how many young people watched. I care about how many people overall watch, because I think if you're not making over 1 million right now on TV and you're asking for big money, they're going to just go, nope, hard pass, and we'll find something else. We'll do Big Bang, re-airings. Those things, we can print money because we own that product.
Epic fail. The launch of NXT Europe is seemingly less likely than ever. But really, that's not the case. This is just Meltzer speculating and then Wrestle Talk speaking as though it's fact. In bold letters saying the launch of NXT Europe is seemingly less than ever. But Meltzer goes and says, remember when they closed NXT UK? This was a couple of years ago now. And they were immediately going to reopen NXT Europe. And then they fired almost everyone except certain people like Oro Mensah and the Gallus boys, Blair Davenport, Lyra Valkyria, who they brought in, some of the top people. Most of the people that were working in NXT UK were fired, and I thought, if you're really going to do NXT Europe, like you say, why are you firing people? Because these people were under like $25,000 a year contracts. It's not like they're paying giant money to these people. The cost savings was negligible. Because, Dave, they're trying to run a profitable company, and they're not Tony Khan, bro. Like, it's insane. I get it. Like, yes, give all the wrestlers jobs in the world, right? Like, wouldn't that be great if everyone could just, you know, get that dream job? It just, Dave, it doesn't work that way. But anyways, he goes, other people were telling me they're never going to do this Europe thing. Who's other people? He always goes, other people. Who? They're never going to do this Europe thing. They're saying it because they never want to admit to shutting down the UK thing. What do you mean? They admitted it. They did it. So what is there to admit? Because the UK thing was their original idea to offset the ITV shows that Grado was a big star and the Davey Boy Smith Jr. was a big star in, which failed. No, it didn't fail. What's failing? WWE or ITV? Which one's more popping? Which one's more bumping, dude? Jesus. That thing had died, so they didn't really have a reason. Oh, I guess he meant ITV. Good. Sorry, I botched. So they didn't really have a reason, and they weren't really doing any shows. So they shut down the UK thing. I always hear we're doing the European thing, but it's been years now, and I hear less now than I heard years ago. Dave, Ludwig Kaiser went on TV and said that he would win the U.S. title and turn into the European Championship. Dave goes on and says, I remember Paul Levesque doing the idea, a real idea they were going to do, have a European outpost, NXT Europe, NXT Middle East, NXT Japan, NXT Mexico, or Latin America. His vision was NXT outpost. That's coming clearly. Look at what they're doing. Regional stuff all over the world to develop young talent and the best talent from all of these places. Okay, but that idea is years and years and years old. Yeah, Dave, they're executing it now. These plans take years to execute. Jesus Christ. It's like Dana White. He said all this too. Dave talking out of his ass. That was this week's Dave Meltzer dumb moment of the week.